Hello, my name is Roman Martinez, Senior Business Analyst for the EZlytix team. Thank you all for joining us and investing your time today. We truly appreciate it. I hope you all are safe and healthy during these difficult times. And I'm very excited to introduce EZlytix and grateful the opportunity to be a part of this team. The agenda for the day. So we will introduce exactly what EZlytix is, go over business pain points. What I'm excited about is the 9 key growth strategies for using data. Then we'll move on to EZlytix package analytics overview and give you the opportunity to see our EZlytix demo, and then go over the return on investment, using our packaged analytics. So moving from transaction to actionable, that's our goal here. What if we could automate the data integrations from SYSPRO and other applications? What if we can capitalize on the history and make decisions today? What if you could measure the impact of change? I love this quote at the bottom here. If you aren't keeping score, you were just practicing, right? So as a big, competitive person and sports guy, I think this is huge. Analytics it can be globally, universally useful and valuable. And our vision is very simple. EZlytix, it's analytics made easy. That's how we came up, with our name. We provide a packaged analytics solution to help mid-markets focus on profitable growth by leveraging data and automation. We want mid-market companies to, we know there's challenges for mid-market companies that have a need for analytics solution, and is essential to have an efficient reporting process to analyze the most important metrics and help companies make intelligent and profitable decisions. I would now like to introduce our CEO, Sachin Bakai, and he'll go over and discuss the growth strategies for this presentation. Welcome, Sachin.
Thank you, Roman, and thank you everyone for joining today. I hope you and your family are safe. My name is Sachin Bakai. I'm one of the co-founders of EZlytix. Just to give you a quick Reader's Digest version of my background, I used to work for Oracle for many years, then had a consulting company implementing ERP and analytics for Fortune 1000 companies. And what I noticed was that mid-market companies have the exact same needs as Fortune 1000 companies, but they don't have the resources or the budget or the time to go through a very long and painful implementation cycle of implementing analytics. So they end up, leveraging spreadsheets to do the analysis, but that's not very efficient. So we decided to come up with a packaged analytics solution for mid-market that gives them the ability to look at data. The key things is, you want to understand your customers better, right? So that you can serve them. You want to be able to identify new growth opportunities, like especially in this pandemic, right? A lot of people had to pivot and, reinvent themselves. So it's extremely important to understand where the revenues are coming from. And not just revenue, it is also very important to measure and make sure that the products that you're selling, the salespeople, everybody is looking at this carefully and making sure that they are spending the time and energy on profitable products. They're putting the right products in front of the right customer at the right price. That is extremely important because we all know the margins are not that great. Margins are slim in this competitive environment, and we want to make the most of it, right? So I heard this one quote, right? They said, if you don't use data, you're making decisions using your gut. So either you're gonna be lucky or you're gonna be wrong, right? So it's extremely important for companies to start using data to make decisions, and not at the executive level, but at all levels within the organization. We want people to start using data. So these are some of the common pain points that our clients and prospects they have, right? The commonly pain points are lack of access to real-time information. you have invested in the SYSPRO ERP system. The SYSPRO is great, but it's extremely painful to extract data out of it to make meaningful decisions. Every small business and mid-market organizations, they have a lean IT team, and the IT team are already overworked, right? So it is extremely difficult for them to get a report immediately when they need it, right? They end up putting it into the IT queue, and it takes about like a week, 2 weeks before they can see the results. And again, it's not self-service. And there's a heavy dependency on spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are great, but it has its limitations, right? Two people looking at the different version of the same data, right? If there's no security in spreadsheets, the data can get stale very easily. Or even if you make a small mistake or a typo in the formula, it could give you different results. So spreadsheets are great, but to do the analysis, it's important to have a tool that you can rely on. Industry research shows that data is sitting in multiple silos. On an average, a company uses a minimum 3+ systems in which they have valuable data which they want to integrate and make meaningful decisions. You have a CRM system, you have an ERP system, you have a budgeting system. Sometimes, you capture your budget in spreadsheets, so that you want to integrate with your ERP system. So data sitting in silos makes it very difficult for organizations to make better decisions. And the ability to have self-service is extremely important, especially in this day and age where things are changing at a rapid pace, right? So by self-service, what we mean is when you're looking at data, you're looking at profitability, let's say by item categories, your product categories, right? And then suddenly you want to look at it by brand or some other dimension. So you don't want to wait to go back to your IT and have them create another report. You want the ability to change the dimensions on the fly and see results, right? That is extremely powerful, to have the ability to do self-service solution. So we wanted to discuss the 9 strategies, right? And these are the strategies that are defined by Deloitte and McKinsey's of the world, that how mid-market organizations, and to the matter of fact, even large organizations, should look at data. Just having reports and an analytic solution is not enough, right? You want to have a solution, and you want to have strategies in which they answer your questions. So it is important to understand, for example, discover, right? It is important to discover which product, which brands are delivering you the highest margins, right? So for example, we have a report that you can run and look at your profitability by item category. Now, once you see this category, and if you identify a category that is not working or not giving you enough margins based on your thresholds, you click on it, you deep dive into that specific category to discover, okay, you know what, which products within those categories are not working, or which territory within those categories are not working, right? So that is extremely important for you to have the ability to drill down by various different dimensions. So item category is one dimension. Understanding your trends, right? Understanding how the customers are buying, what they are buying, when they are buying is extremely important. So we encourage a lot of our clients, right? They have their salespeople constantly monitor the buying pattern, what they bought last week, what they bought last month, right? What they bought last year this time, to what they are doing right now, so that they can make sure that they're positioning the right product to the right customer at the right time. And that significantly reduces the sales cycle. So this is a report that gives you the 12-month moving average, right? You can look at it by sales, or you can look at it by units, and you can further narrow it down by either item class to see what customers are buying, or you can narrow it down by brands to see, how did the brand perform in the last 12 months? And, if there are certain weak months, maybe those are the months where you want to run some promotions. So unless you have visibility into your data, and use the historical trends to make futuristic decisions, it's going to be very difficult to grow and compete. Identifying areas of cross-sell and upsell, right? This is one thing where we see a lot of companies, a lot of salespeople, they miss out on these opportunities to upsell and cross-sell. So this is a great example, right? You're looking at a report based on customer class. Now, in order to see, for example, home centers, right? You're selling it to Home Depots and Lowe's of the world. Home Depot is buying about $100,000 worth of product every month. Lowe's is buying only 20. So this is a red flag, right? You have classified them in the same customer class. They both should have the exact same needs. So now you know exactly which products your salespeople should be focusing on in selling to Lowe's, the ones that Home Depots are buying, right? So upselling and cross-selling opportunities is extremely important to monitor. Uncovering, it is also important for not just the salespeople, but for the management also to look at data, right? They need to constantly see the performance of the salespeople. We have seen so many times where the salespeople, two salespeople selling the same product, same territory, but getting different results. They both are selling at different margins, right? So these are the things where the top performers, we can leverage or have them train the underperformers, right? And if that does not work, then there is an opportunity for us to identify, okay, you know what, maybe we should let go of these underperformers and replace them with other top performers. So this helps the management constantly make sure that the team is performing to their expectations. So this is a report where you can run it by salesperson, look at what products they are selling, in what period they are selling, and constantly measure it to see their performance. Test is another great strategy. By test, what we mean is, whenever you're trying to introduce a new product or going into a new territory, it is important to test the market, right? So you can run some promotions for a specific time. You can run a promotion for a specific period, or you can bundle products together and to see how is the item mix performing, right? Or how did the item mix perform a specific period or in a specific group of customers to understand, okay, you know what is working and what is not working, right? So our goal is to identify what is working and keep doing the same thing over and over again, rather than do something that's not going to work. So it's extremely important to test it and use data to make those decisions. Similarly, it's important to measure the discounts and the allowances and that the salespeople are giving and they're getting, right? A lot of times we get rebates from manufacturers. And sometimes, just to maintain our margins, salespeople don't sell a specific product, but on the flip side, they don't realize that they missed out on achieving the target from the manufacturer, so the rebates could kick in, right? So if they had discounted that specific product for a short period of time, they would have reached that threshold and the rebate would have kicked in, and they would have probably, the company would have made more money in the tail end, right? So it's extremely important to have those kind of visibility as well. But focusing on, customers, the region, territory is also extremely important, right? To have a geo view of what is working where, right? If you're selling seasonal products, this is extremely important to make sure that your inventory in the warehouse, they are fully stocked with the products that you need in that particular region, in that particular territory. Analyzing, right? So we not only focus on growth, but we also want the salespeople to have the visibility on shrinkage as well, right? And shrinkage not only at the revenue level, right? But we want to understand, right, which products are shrinking in sales, which products are shrinking in margins. So we want them to have the ability to look at information from all the different angles. It's not a one single view, right? They need to look at it like a 360-degree from all different angles to see what they can do better to improve the sales and the margin for the company. The last one is determining which deals are least profitable, right? So we had done a webinar which was with the CPA firm, where the goal of the webinar is to, which customer should you fire, right? So similarly, it's extremely important to identify, which customers you're losing money on, right? Sometimes either you go back and renegotiate those contracts with them, or you let go. You let the energy on more profitable customers, right? Sometimes the same thing goes with products. You don't want to keep trying to push the same products that has low margins or the sales cycles are very long, right? So you want to understand those products and maybe let go those products and focus on products that are more profitable, so you can have more repeatable sales and success. So what we have done is, what we showed you is individual reports, right? But what we have done is we have built collective dashboards, and these dashboards are out of the box so that you don't have to worry about thinking, okay, what should I be measuring, right? Based on several years of research and things that Deloitte and McKinsey and Ernst & Young have said, that these are the things that organizations should measure and have visibility. So the sales overview dashboard, right? This is an executive dashboard that gives you quick visibility, right? Okay, you log in and it gives you quick visibility. What are my sales? What is my cost? How am I doing, right? You have a board meeting, or you are talking to investors. This is a great dashboard for executives to have a quick view. Within seconds, they can look at the performance of the company. You capture budgets and targets at salespeople or customer level, right? So you can measure your targets and how the salespeople are performing very quickly. Similarly, we have created salesperson's insight, right? The goal is to give the ability to look at data at various different levels, right? Not at the executive levels only, but at various different levels. So the salespeople, the operations folks, the procurement team, the executive team, everybody needs to do their role efficiently leveraging data. So this is a collection of reports that typically most of our salespeople use. And to give you an example, this is a sales and bookings report, right? So if you see, there are open orders back in May and April that were booked, but they were not shipped. If it's not shipped, they're not billed, right? So if a sales team have visibility on those orders, they can immediately reach out to the shipping department to see what's going on, right? What is the issue? Why have they not been shipped? So it's extremely important that everyone plays that role in order to grow the company. Similarly, we have inventory insights that kind of gives you a quick visibility, how quickly your products are turning, right? You can look at your DSI by period. You can even look at your DSI by product category or specific item level to see how fast is this item turning. And that kind of feeds into, you can plan it on how you want to stock those items. The customer insights, these are great because, one quick view can give you how your customers are doing, how the top sales, the customers. We also have a concept of customer, parent, and a child, right? So for example, if you are selling to Home Depots of the world, so you have like 10 Home Depots. If you run a report as a parent, all the sales from all various Home Depots is going to be consolidated into one bucket. But when you run the same report as a child or a customer, you can see like 10 different Home Depots, and you can see how they are performing against each other if you want to do some benchmarking against those reports. So this is a specific report designed for distribution companies. And this is kind of gives you, the high potential products. You can look at your the NBC percentage, fastest growing customer. These are the ones that the distribution organization says every company should measure. And if you measure this, there are very high chances that you're going to be in the top 20% of the distributors in terms of operations and efficiency. So shipping and delivery insights, right? This is critical for the operations team and the shipping team. This kind of gives you, what are your orders, that was sent with correct documentation, right? We know SYSPRO, there's no field to capture this information. So a lot of our clients, they capture it in custom field. So we have the ability to integrate and leverage the information in custom fields, and then we can use that on the reports. So this is also, very powerful for businesses to keep track of their performance and make sure, right? If you are 92% and above, I think then you're in the top 20% of the distribution companies in terms of efficiency. One of the ones that we have here is the spend analytics, right? This is very important for the procurement team to understand how is the spend by cost centers, right? How the spend by country, if you're a multinational, or spend by buyers, right? Or spend by my top supplier spend, right? With whom can I go and renegotiate, right? My company. So it is extremely important for the procurement team to have visibility in just one place, right? All the information they need in one place. And all of these reports, you can drill down to the lowest level. And in our demo, we will show you how you can drill down to the lowest level to get the visibility and pinpoint to the issues. So Roman, I think this is a great time for us to take a break and see if you have any questions in the chat box.
Perfect. Before I begin with the questions, we have some questions in currently. We encourage you to ask questions in the chat box. We want this to be an interactive experience. So Sachin, to start off here with questions, how many years of history do you store?
So that's a great question. We typically recommend at least 3 years of history if you have been using SYSPRO for many years. Because 3 years of history will give us enough data if you want to do any regression analysis, or if you want to do some pattern analysis to identify seasonalities in your sales and your margins, right? So minimum 3 years of history is what we recommend. But if they want to bring in more, we are happy to bring more data.
Okay. Question number 2, where do you store your data exactly?
Okay. So we do not store anything. We don't host anything. Our solution is hosted on AWS cloud. So all the data is on AWS, and nobody spends more money in securing the servers than AWS. So we leverage all the security features that Amazon has to offer in terms of security. So we host everything on AWS.
So another great question, how often do you sync the data?
Okay, that's a great question. The way we do it is the first time we will bring in, let's say, 3 years of history. We'll migrate 3 years of history, and then we will sync the data on a daily basis. We will sync typically after the nightly backup is done for on-premise clients. We'll sync the data, and it's a change data control. So anything that is changed or new in your SYSPRO environment, we will sync only that information going forward on a daily basis.
Okay, we have one more question we'll answer right now. Do you integrate with third-party data?
Yes, we do. Third-party data integration does not come out of the box. But once, if the company can identify which data they want us to integrate, as long as they have access to that data, or if the data is freely available, we can download that data, come up with a frequency on how often we want to sync with that data, and we can give them the ability to correlate. To give you a quick example, like building permits data, right? Building permits data is available freely. So if anybody is in the building products industry, for example, a windows manufacturer, we can sync in the building permits data so that that becomes a leading indicator for a windows or a doors manufacturing company, saying that, hey, you know what, if the county has issued X number of permits this month, then 6 months from now, they will need windows in there. So maybe I can add, like, you know, one or more salespeople to focus on that region. So yes, we do integrate with third-party data.
Well, that ends our question session for now. Again, if you have any more questions, we answer the rest at the end. Please continue asking your questions in the chat box. Perfect.
So moving on, I just want to summarize what EZlytix packaged analytics is. So it is a cloud-based solution. So there is nothing to install on your end. Everything, it's just a URL, you log in and you will have access to all the reports and dashboard. We can enable the entire solution for SYSPRO users in about 3 to 4 weeks after we get access to your environment. We automate the data integration with multiple sources. So you don't have to worry about the integration. And typically the way it works is we know exactly how the data is structured in SYSPRO. So we will integrate it, and pretty much 80% of the integration, we will do it. About 20%, every company is a little different. So we will work with you on understanding what you have captured in how you want us to use them. And that is what we will configure when we configure your environment. We can also help in automating the board package reporting. A lot of mid-market companies, they're owned by PE companies, or the PE companies have invested in them. So a lot of times the CEO and the CFO, they end up spending a lot of time creating these board packages. So we can actually automate the board package for them. That kind of saves them a lot of time on a monthly, quarterly basis. And every time somebody accesses that package, it always executes the real-time reports. We also act as your extended analytics team, because we know most of the companies have a lean IT team and they cannot justify the ROI for having a full-fledged analytics team. So we act as an extension of your analytics team. So any reports or anything that you want us to build, we can build it for you. And since we already have access to the environment, the turnaround time is really, really fast. So out of the box, right, every time, right, it's very hard for companies to realize, okay, you know, what are the true things that we should be measuring? So that is why, based on our research and research by other leading organizations, we have compiled a list of 80+ KPIs that's going to help you hit the ground running, right? So within like about a 3 to 4 week period, you have access to 80+ KPIs fully configured based on your data and your dimensions, how you have set up your SYSPRO. And then it's an 80-20 rule, right? So anything that is custom that you need, that is not out of the box, for the first year, we build up to 8 reports for you at absolutely no charge, right? Because we understand that every company looks at data differently. So we will build this 8 reports for you at absolutely no charge, and load it into the system. Everybody's concerned about data security, and data security is a very important factor, right? So for SYSPRO on-premise customers, we open a secured VPN tunnel using Barracuda. And with Barracuda, it's a one-way tunnel. It's a read-only tunnel, and we do not write anything back to your SYSPRO environment. And in the back end, we use Oracle database and leverage all the security features of what Amazon has to offer. So having said that, I think it's time for us to go take a quick look at what EZlytix looks like. And Roman, please let me know once you see my screen and our EZlytix solution. So is it still loading, Roman?
Looks like it's still loading, Sachin.
Okay, perfect. Just let me know when it's done loading, and then I can start.
Perfect. It is done loading.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, excuse me. So this is one of the dashboards that kind of gives you a quick view of how the company is performing. Right. You can look at your sales and margin and you can your 12 months data. All our reports have the ability to drill down. All you need to do is simply click on it, and it will take you and give you details at the lowest level. What we typically do is we bring in data as low as invoice line item or shipping line details so that you can drill down to the lowest level of transactions. So in this dashboard is a compilation of ERP and CRM data. You can see your sales year-over-year comparison, sales versus target by salespeople, win-loss by salesperson, opportunities in various different stages, how the company is performing, right? Total opportunities, how many deals won, what is the 1% rate. So it's a combination of data from an ERP and a CRM system. So similarly, we have another sub tab that gives you the customer view. So how are we doing, right? How many new customers did we onboard, right? How many customers did we retain? How many did we lose, right? What is the revenue from retained customers? Any pressing collection issues where we have an open AR or late AR where the collection team needs to quickly make sure that they focus and then follow up on collections. So this is a great chart. It kind of gives you a very quick view of what your sales are by customer type, right? So your distributor and your home centers are the ones that generating a majority of your business. So I'm going to deep dive into one specific report that will give you the visibility and understanding of how our solution works. Majority, like for clients, we don't give training because they don't need training. Once they have access to our system, they can very quickly learn, right? But if the training is required, we're happy to do training. So this is a report of sales and margin by item category. And for us to do any further analysis, all we need to do is click on this maximize icon, and it'll open up the report for us to do further analysis. And once the report open up, you'll see that you'll have a lot more options, right? You have a lot more options on the left in the filters to where you can pick and choose how you want to slice and dice your data. So to give you a quick example, currently we are looking at item categories, the sales and margin, but say if you want to look at it, how are we doing by brand? So you just click on brand, hit go, and it will show you the results by brand. So it's that simple. And the flexible x-axis, and currently we are looking at the data of a paint company. So you see all the paint related attributes, but when we work with you and configure your data, all the attributes over here you will see will be based on how you have set up in your SYSPRO environment. So this is super dynamic and highly configurable solution that we can provide you. And our solution it's extremely easy to use. So for example, if you don't know all the different combinations you use, you don't know where you are, all you need to do is hit reset button and it takes you back to default, right? So there is nothing in our solution that you can do to mess up the solution. So you can run the specific report for a specific year, a fiscal quarter, or even if you pick a quarter and you can pick a month within the quarter. If you're running some kind of a promotion, if you want to do it for a custom date range, you can do that as well. Source. So a lot of times mid-market companies, they grow through acquisition, right? So today you have one system, you have one instance of SYSPRO. Tomorrow you acquire a company and let's say they use NetSuite or some other ERP. So we can actually integrate with other ERPs and bring that data over here also. So when you run the report, you will see two sources over here. By default, you will see a consolidated view. But if you want, you can just pick a specific source and run the report, and then you'll just see for that one source. You can further classify and narrow it down based on item type or item class, item category. And all these are again configured based on your information. So tomorrow, let's say if you introduce a new item category, you don't have to do any change, right? As long as you create a new item category in SYSPRO, it will dynamically show up over here, right? When the next time when we sync the data, it will automatically show up here. So there is no need for you to change anything on our side. As long as you do it in SYSPRO, it will automatically reflect here. We can also allow you to do it by user-defined fields. If you capture custom information in SYSPRO, we can map those custom information also for you. If you want to run it for a specific item or a group of items, you can very easily do that, right? So sometimes it's important to narrow it down for certain items. You can do that. This is the parent-child that I was talking about earlier. If you run it as a customer, you will see individual Home Depots, but if you run it as a parent, you'll see a consolidated view of Home Depot. So all our report, you can drill down. For example, in this case, if you want to look at like sales and margin by salesperson, or sales and margin by salespeople by customer, or by invoice item detail, right? So you just click on it and it'll give you the details at the lowest level. So it is extremely easy for us to view the information and give you the visibility of the information, right? So in this case, right, you see this margin is dropping for this transparent stain. You click on it and then you run the report by sales and margin by salesperson to see how they're doing. And you notice that a couple of sales guys, they're getting like about 16% margin, where they should be getting like close to over 22% margins, right? So it makes sense for us to have a conversation with Bob and Hank to say, hey, what's going on? Why are the margins so low, right? Maybe they're discounting too much. Also, all our reports can very easily be exported into any of these different formats. You can print a report directly from here. We can also email the report directly from here to another user. Okay, we don't allow you to email a report to somebody who's not a user for security reasons, but the workaround is you can email this report to yourself, and then you can forward it to whoever you want. And these reports are also available in various different formats, like a PDF, a CSV, or a Word. You can even embed this report. Just copy this link and put it in a PowerPoint presentation, or if you want to embed it in the website, you can embed that in the website also. If there is certain information you want your suppliers to have a view, right? So we can do that as well. This is another great feature that a lot of our executives especially uses, is the broadcast feature. They don't have time to log in. What they do is they can schedule a broadcast. So they get the report in the format that they pick at the time, date and time which they schedule it, right? So if they want to look at some numbers every Monday morning, they schedule a report, and a report will be emailed to them every Monday morning. If you want to get a little advanced, you can click on the alert, create an alert delivery rule, where you can say, okay, you know what? Hey, send me that report only if my margin is less than a specific value, right? So you will get alerted only for exceptions. You will be emailed only for exceptions. So okay, you know what? This is where I need to take some action. So It could be either you missed the threshold, or sometimes, you want to appreciate somebody and you can set it up. So if somebody had exceeded a certain threshold, you want to acknowledge that as well. You can, any report, you can mark it as favorite, so it just makes it easier for you to access it. We can also get rid of filters right from here, right? So if you want to remove this Q3 filter, you just click on it and it will remove the Q3 filter. So our goal is to make sure that the reports and the whole solution is super easy, right? Nobody has time to learn a new solution. So it's extremely important that we make sure that our solution is extremely user-friendly, so the adoption rate is high as well. So similar to this, we have several dashboards that we have created based on various different roles, right? Recently, we were asked to build an integration with Google because, with this pandemic, a lot of companies have started to go online. So they wanted to see how their website is performing, right? So if you have enabled Google Analytics part of your website, we can very quickly integrate with that. And so you get all the information that you want to analyze from Google in the same place, right? You can look at your new versus returning visitors, right? How many visitors are new, how many visitors are returning. So if you have an in-house or a third-party company who is focusing on your SEO, you can look at it to see, if whatever changes they're doing, is it working or not, right? If you use AdWords campaigns, you can look at your AdWords matrix over here to see how they're performing towards your AdWords. So anything that Google captures, we can actually display it over here. So I'm just going to go one more dashboard. This is the retail dashboards that we have built for several of our customers who have brick and mortar stores and retail, online retails. So this kind of gives them a quick view of how the sales are based on various different locations, right? How are the units based on different locations? You can analyze your return orders. You can look at your products and see the details about your products, right? How are the sales by the sales category, right? How are the sales by customer type? So that kind of helps you with your marketing or your ad spend. So it just makes it easier. You can also look at your delivery. How you are delivering, right? How many on time versus late deliveries that you have. The on time, you can quickly track it over the period of 12 months to see how consistently have you been able to achieve your shipments and your delivery targets. So our goal is to make it easy for SYSPRO users to get all the visibility they need in order to make better decisions. So with that, I'm gonna end this demo. So Roman, we can see if anybody has any questions. Before we go to questions, I just wanted to quickly highlight the ROI of using EZlytix and any analytics solution. It gives you, the ability to increase your forecast better, whether you're doing it by customer or you're doing it by products. You can continue to focus on increasing your margins. We have seen improvements in margins by anywhere from 1 to 3%. Just executives have real-time visibility and they can make better decisions. And one of the biggest thing, right? It reduces the man hours spent on collecting and extracting data out of SYSPRO. This is one of the biggest benefit that our customers tell us that they see, because they spend more time extracting and gathering data than actually analyzing the data. So this is some of the key benefits of using EZlytix. And well, yeah, some of the testimonials of some of our customers, like Bruce, have seen over 15% in productivity increase. We were able to, we merged SYSPRO and CRM, like Salesforce data, and they were able to increase their efficiency by 25%. Kevin, I know he's super happy. He has been able to expand into multiple geography areas where earlier, there was no focus, right? So with data, I think they have been able to make some very informed decisions for the company. So having said that, Roman, let's see if you have any questions in the chat. I'm happy to answer them.
Perfect. We do have more questions. Again, thank you for your chat questions. We truly appreciate it. One coming here, Sachin. How long does it take to implement EZlytix?
Well, the reports and dashboards are predefined. So all we need to do is we need to configure it based on your SYSPRO environment. So as I said, once we get access to your SYSPRO environment, it takes about like 3 to 4 weeks for us to configure the system with the dimensions that you need.
Perfect. Next question. Can I download and share reports easily?
You can download it into any form like CSV, PDF, Word document, and when you download it, it actually gives you in both the chart and in the tabular format. So it just makes it easy for users to use it.
Okay, another question that just came in. Can I create reports on my own in EZlytix?
Yes, you can. You just need a little bit of technical expertise to do it, but you can create reports. It's almost like a drag and drop, but you can, if you want to create some fancy reports, you need to know some SQL and some programming in order to do that.
And last question coming in.
But before you go to that next question, I would also like to add that part of our subscription, part of our services, we actually build up to 8 custom reports for you at no additional cost. And if you need any extra reports to be built, we can offer like a fixed price quote for building those reports. So you don't necessarily have to invest in building an in-house team. That's the beauty about EZlytix is we work as an extension of your team.
Fantastic. Okay, last question here, Sachin. Do you have a try before you buy option?
That's a great question. We do. And for you to see meaningful results when you try our solution is if we can offer it with your data. So what we do is for a small fee, we will take sample data in spreadsheets from you, and we will load it in, we will configure it as best as we can, and we'll give you access to that environment. So we'll create a custom environment for you so that you can make the better decisions whether EZlytix is a fit for you or not. And the fee that we charge for that will be transferred part of the configuration fee if you choose to move forward with EZlytix. So that the investment that you make in us is not going to go to waste. We can leverage that investment and give you reduced the configuration fee. And also to make it easy, we have created free predefined templates where we can share the templates. You just populate the data in that template and give it back to us, and we can load it. So we have done it for several clients, and it's a pretty effective process.
Unbelievable. Well, that ends our question session. I wanted to thank all our attendees for joining us today, and Sachin for his insight, not only on the key areas of growth, but about exactly what we do to help mid-market businesses grow. You know, our time is valuable, and you know, it's essential to increase efficiency in all aspects, you know, in our life to grow. You know, more importantly, when running a business, you know, a successful business, time saving comes from centralized data, you know, automated dashboards. Once you have easy access to actionable data, you know, many team members start arriving at deeper insights almost immediately. So here at EZlytix, we offer a user-friendly, affordable, fast implementation solution that's extremely easy to use. That saves you time and money. You know, with our customers now, we don't have any training, any extra training where it's not needed. We do have it available, but it's really not needed because it's just so user friendly. So in all, we are looking to give businesses that competitive edge, that competitive advantage that allows them to increase their profitability and grow. We want to grow with you all. You can reach me out at Roman, ROMAN, at EZlytics.com. That's EZLYTIX.com for a brief demonstration, or you can visit our website at EZlytics.com. We appreciate your time and thank you for joining us. We hope you have a fantastic day.
Okay, thank you all. Appreciate your time.